It's Transformers 96 here with another video review. This time we have the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Wave 2 Koba. So yeah, so as you can see, going over the box really fast, really simple. You know, it's a nice design, but it's the same as the first wave, really nothing different on it. And on the back you do have the figures in this wave. I decided to skip that Caesar, but I obviously picked up Koba, and I did pick up Luca as well. So yeah. Alright, going over the main attraction here, we have the Koba. Now, Koba was a character that I really did enjoy in the movie, so I was very excited to see that they were making a second version of him, considering, although I liked the first version, I wasn't too fond of the war kind of paint on him, as well as I wish that he came with a gun. So it is nice that they really kind of fixed that for me, because I was not expecting them to do that, but they did it, so I'm very happy about that. Going over this face sculpt, I'm going to be doing a lot of comparisons with this first one here, because obviously, you know, a lot of people probably have the first one and are trying to decide if they need the second one. Overall, face sculpt's completely different. They're completely new sculpts, I must say. As you can see, really just different in every way. Obviously different paint, because this one has kind of war paint on him, while this one doesn't, as well as this one has more of an angry expression. I definitely like the mouth open. It gives a kind of different look and expression to the actual to the character, and they both look really cool. I will say the kind of the eye that's been torn out, or that doesn't have a pupil, is more prominent on this one. And that's because it kind of has a metallic kind of finish to it, so it kind of shines a bit more, so you can see it better on the first edition, which I would like to see on the second edition. Being able to see his non-existent eye would be pretty cool, I have to say. I do like the scarring on the face on this one, though. And his kind of, I don't know what you call these, but his kind of sideburns at the cheek there, they go down a little too far. I wish that they were a little closer to his face in that one. This one has them kind of going under his mouth instead of over it. And I would definitely like to see the this piece of hair to be under his mouth and not over it as well. I think that it gives him kind of an odd look, and not one not a look that's kind of accurate to the movie from what I imagine, or from what I remember. I believe that this one's hairstyle on the side of his face is actually more accurate, and that is going to be pretty much my only complaint with this figure. That's one thing that I noticed from the beginning, and I have to say I don't like it, because it does not give an accurate look of Koba, which is unfortunate. I always thought from the preview pictures and everything that this jaw was going to be movable, and it isn't, surprisingly. It looks like it can be, because just by the way the face is cut, it looks like this should be able to move. It doesn't, unfortunately. Not a big deal, but something that I was expecting, that I was surprised to see was not the case. As you can see with the fur, it looks really good here. You've got all of the little areas where he's missing fur from his human work, or the human experiments. Really do like that a lot, and it's definitely very prominent on the back there, which is very cool. I like the paint on this. It's very dark. It's definitely quite nice and more villainous type of look than the first one, which is very nice. He does come with two hands, two kind of relaxed palms, and then two hands for holding the gun. Unfortunately, and this was not a problem on the first one, but on this guy, when I went to pull out the hands, the peg that, you know, is attached to the wrist came out with the hands on both sides. They were incredibly hard to get out. I had to use a hairdryer as well as some pliers to eventually pull them out, and then I had to use a hairdryer to put it back into the other hand. So it is unfortunate that the wrists do take out, or the hands do take out the wrist joints when you do pull them out. That might just be on mine, but I have a feeling that is something that's probably going to be a problem on a lot of people's. Overall, he does come with this new accessory, the gun, which is very exciting. Definitely something that I wanted him to come with. And it's not just your average, ordinary gun. It actually looks really cool. It's got a lot of style to it and a ton of detail. And then it's painted up in a nice kind of gunmetal gray, silverish type of look with a little green pouch at the bottom there. Very cool. Definitely very interesting and different, which I like a lot. They could have just given him a regular, you know, gun that's just not so unique or doesn't kind of fit in with the movie, but they did add like the specific gun that he uses in the movie, and they did it well, which is really cool. The only thing I don't like is that even his hands for specifically holding the gun, they're not sculpted really well. I wish that they could have like sculpted sculpted it better, because he like barely holds it. And you know, it's just from this angle that it doesn't look good. From this angle, it looks fine. You don't even notice it. And it's not like because he's not holding it very well that it's fallen out of his hand, because he's got a very strong grip on it. So at least that's not a problem. But it does just kind of look weird, and it doesn't look quite accurate when you're looking at it from this side. I wish that he would have been able to hold it a little bit better, or just come with a hand that was specifically molded to put the finger in the trigger hole and the whole bit. That would have been really quite nice. He can kind of hold it with two hands if you. Ooh, I'm knocking over Kobas like crazy today. Put him further back there. Alright, he can kind of hold it with two hands. I mean, I've done it before, but yeah, kind of like that. Obviously, it doesn't look too good, and wish that this is the same body as the original one, so because of that, he doesn't have superb articulation. It would have been nice if they just like resculpted the arms to give him a swivel, because one thing I never liked about the first version was that instead of having a swivel that allows his arm to go in and out, it just swivels, just like at the top here, so you can just kind of turn it for some reason, and that's really unnecessary, and I have no idea why they did that. The joint itself should be on the swivel too, so that you can turn the entire thing and be able to hinge it up and down from his sides to the other side. And this is the same way on Koba. The only two that have it right are Luca and Maurice. They're the only two that have the actual hinge swivel where you can actually move the hand. So it's unfortunate that this is like this, because if it was on an actual swivel, on a hinge swivel, you would have been able to have him do some more stuff with the gun and hold it with two hands more accurate and more would have been able to do it much better, I have to say. So yeah. But the gun is really cool. It's definitely a really nice accessory that I was hoping to get. So it is great to get it now. You can kind of have him tilted, kind of like he does in that first scene. Really like the Koba character a ton. I always have loved Koba from Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I think he really stole the show and just made the movie something really spectacular. So overall, I am very happy that we do get a second version of Koba, because I do think it is necessary. And this one is quite nice. Now, figure-wise, it's not a whole lot different from the original one, considering it's the same sculpt. But you do get a different and more. You do get a different head sculpt with a more visual expression, which I think is quite nice. You also get another gun, which is really necessary for the figure, and then you get more movie accurate paint from when he is in the majority of the movie, because like for the beginning shot, he does wear that war paint. He might wear it a little bit longer in the movie, but the majority of the film, and when he really shines as a villain, he is not wearing any paint, and he looks more like this. So I definitely have to say I like it a lot. Definitely recommend it to any Koba fans out there. If you're not a huge Koba fan and you already have the first one, there's not a whole lot of reason to get this, other than maybe if you're wanting to pose Koba and Caesar fighting and you want some very angry expression faces to do that with, then this might be necessary. But other than that, it's really not a whole lot necessary for any fan of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes who's not specifically a big fan of Koba himself. So yeah, so there you go. That's my video review of the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes NECA Wave 2 Koba. Thanks so much for watching.